everyone, this is Pranshi Verma. Welcome to my channel guys. Today's session is frequently asked AWS means Amazon Web Services interview question and answer for your upcoming interview. Okay guys, and they all are very latest question answer for 2020 and upcoming batch. Okay guys, start करते हैं आज का session. First question is define AWS. Okay, so AWS is the initials of Amazon Web Services, as you know. It's a platform that offers safe cloud services, data storage facilities, computing platforms, content delivery, and various other associated services to the users. Okay. Next question. What are the various AWS products built for offering cloud services? Answer is there are mainly three kinds of cloud services types of which AWS products are made. Okay, and these are stated as under computing, storage and networking. Okay, what is computing? Computing is the AWS products for computing are auto scaling, EC2, Lightset, Elastic Beanstalk and Lambda. Okay, second one is storage. Storage is the AWS products for storage include S3, Elastic File System, Elastic Block Storage and Glacier. Okay. Next one, networking. Networking is the AWS product for networking include VPC, Route 53 and Amazon Cloud Front. Okay. Next question, define auto scaling. Answer is auto-scaling is a function that supports the provision and launch of new instances after recognizing the demand. This way it offers the users the ability to increase or decrease the resources capacity as per the changing demand labels. Okay, next question. Is there any difference between region and availability zone? So answer is yes. Region and availability zone, they both are different. Okay, the reasons are the different geographical locations like United States West 1 that is North California and Asia South that is Mumbai. And availability zone is the part of the regions which are mostly the isolate zones that can replicate itself when the need arises. Okay, so this is the difference between region and availability zone. Next question. What do you understand by geo-targeting in CloudFront? Answer is geo-targeting in the CloudFront supports the creation of customized content for the target audience as per the demand and needs of a specific geographical area. This helps the businesses to showcase their personalized content to the target audience in different geographical locations without changing its URL, Uniform Resource Locator. Okay. Next question. What are the steps involved in CloudFront? This is very important question. Answer is there are 4 steps involved in CloudFront and this includes the following. Step 1. Creating a CloudFormation template in YAML or JSON format. Second one, saving the code in an S3 bucket so that it serves a repository for the code. Okay, now third step, using the AWS CloudFormation to call the bucket and thereby creating a new stack on the template. Next and last step is CloudFormation reads the file and thus understands the services required that called along with their order details, relationships with services and associated provisions. Okay, so these are the steps involved in CloudFront. Next question. Which are tools available in AWS that could help you recognize that you are paying more than required for AWS? Answer is there are 4 tools available in AWS that could help in recognizing that you are paying more than required for AWS and these are stated as under. First one, checking the top service table. Second one, AWS budgets. Third one, cost allocation tags. And fourth one is Cost Explorer. Okay. Next question, what is S3 in AWS? Answer is S3 is referred to as simple storage service. Okay, it's used to store and retrieve data for any amount at any time from anywhere in the world using the web. To use this service, the payment model developed is pay as you go. Okay. Next question. What is AMI? Answer is AMI is the short form of Amazon Machine Image. It's a template that offers the information required to launch an instance that acts as a copy of AMI running as a virtual server in the cloud. The information provided is about the operating system, applications, and the application server itself. Many instances can be launched at one time from different AMIs as per your instructions. Okay guys. Next question. What is the relation between AMI and instance? Okay. Instances can be launched by AMIs. As you know, one AMI can launch as many instances as required. Okay. At the other hand, an instance type defines the hardware of the host computer, for instance, including information about computers and its memory abilities. After launching an instance, it works as a traditional host and could be interacted with any other computer. Okay. Next question. What are the inclusions in AMI? Answer is there are three inclusions in AMI, which includes the following. First one, template for the root volume for the instance. Second one, block device mapping that helps in determining the volumes after attaching to the instance after launch. And third one, launch permissions that helps in deciding which AWS account can take the AMI for launching instances. Okay. Next question. Can we send a request to Amazon S3? Answer is yes. You can send a request to Amazon S3. Okay, we can send a request to Amazon S3 by using the REST API or the AWS SDK, Software Development Kit, wrapper libraries which wrap the underlying Amazon S3 REST API. Okay. Now next question. What are the main differences between EC2 and S3? Okay, what is EC2? EC2, it's a cloud web services. Now S3 it's a data storage system. Next difference is EC2 used for hosting the web application and S3 it's used for storing any amount of data. Okay, now next difference. EC2 works as a huge computer machine, but at the other hand, S3 it's a REST interface. Okay. Next difference is EC2 can either run Linux or Windows and could also handle PHP, Python, Apache, and various other kinds of databases. But S3 applies secure authentication keys such as HMAC SHA-1. Okay guys. Now next question. Can buckets be created in AWS accounts? Answer is yes. Buckets can be created in AWS accounts. By default, up to 100 buckets can be created in the AWS account. Okay. Next question. Define T2 instance. Answer is, this is a very important question guys. Focus on it. T2 instance is specifically designed to offer moderate baseline performance and the ability to burst into higher performance as per the requirements of the workload. Okay. Next question. Identify different kinds of instances. So the different kinds of instances include the following. First one, accelerated computing instance. Second one, memory optimized instance. Third one, storage optimized instance. Next one, computer optimized instance, and next one is general purpose instance. Okay. Next question. Does Amazon VPC support the property of broadcast or multicast? Answer is Amazon VPC does not support the property of broadcast or multicast. Okay. Next question. Can we create elastic IPs in AWS? This is very interesting question. So answer is yes. We can create elastic IPs in AWS. About 5 VPC elastic IP addresses are allowed under each AWS account. Okay. Next question. What is the default storage class in S3? Answer is the default storage class in S3 is referred to as the standard frequently accessed. Okay. SFA. Next question. What are the roles in AWS? Answer is roles in AWS are used to provide permission to the entities that can be trusted within the AWS account. They are similar to the users and don't require the creation of any username and password to work along with various other resources in AWS. Okay. Next question. What are the edge locations in AWS? Answer is edge locations in AWS are referred to as the area where the contents will be cached. When a user tries to access any content, then in such case the content automatically search for the edge location. Okay. Next question. What is the full form of BPC? Explain BPC. Answer is BPC stands for Virtual Private Cloud. As well as BPC helps in customizing the network configuration process. It acts as a network that is logically isolated from various other networks in the cloud. BPC allows the users to have their IP address range, security groups, subnet and internet gateways. Okay. Next question. What is a snowball in AWS? Answer is a snowball in AWS is a data transport option. It uses the source appliance to a large amount of data for getting into and out of AWS. A snowball can be used for the transfer of massive data from one place to another place. It also helps in reducing networking cost also. Okay. Next question. What is Redshift in AWS? Answer is Redshift in AWS is a big data warehouse product that is fast and powerful enough to manage data warehouse services in the cloud. Okay. Next question. Define subnet in AWS. Answer is subnet in AWS is referred to as the large section of IP addresses which is divided into chunks. Okay. We can have 200 subnets per VPC. Virtual Private Cloud. Okay. Next question. What is SQL in AWS? SQL stands for Simple Queue Services that offers a distributed queuing services that acts as a mediator for two controllers. Okay. Next question. What is SimpleDB in AWS? Answer is SimpleDB is a name given to the data repository structure record which supports data doubts and index S3 and EC2. Okay. Next question. What is Amazon Elastic Cache? Answer is Amazon Elastic Cache is a web service that helps in easy deployment, scaling and storing of data in the cloud. This is very important question. Next question. What is AWS Lambda? Answer is AWS Lambda is a computing service offered by Amazon to run code in the AWS cloud without managing the servers. Okay. Next question. What is Amazon EMR? Answer is Amazon EMR is a survived cluster stage that helps in interpreting the working of the different data structures before the intimation. The various components of Amazon EMR are Apache Hadoop, Apache Spark, Apache Hive and various others. They help in investigating a large amount of data, prepare data analytic goals and market intellect workloads using open source designs. Okay. Next question. Please explain the difference between stopping and terminating an instance. Answer is both stopping and terminating are states in an EC2 instance. Okay, so now stopping. As soon as an instance is stopped, it performs a normal shutdown and transistors to a stopped state. You can start the instance at a later time and all of its Amazon EBS volumes remain attached. While the instance is in a stopped state, no additional instance hours are incurred. Okay. Now terminating. As soon as an instance is terminated, it performs a normal shutdown and transistors to the terminated state. The attached Amazon EBS volumes are deleted, save for the cache when the volumes delete on termination attribute is set to false. As the instance itself is deleted, it's not possible to start the instance again at some later time. Okay, so this is the difference between stopping and terminating. Okay guys, now let's wind up the session. See you in the next video. If you like the video, please hit the like button, and if you want more videos for any subject, let me know in comment section. Thanks for watching this video. Please share this video with your friends and make sure to subscribe to my channel for more videos and press the bell icon for latest update. Thank you.